Yeah, I think there is so much more pressure in this game on Team Liquid than there is on Dignitas. We've talked about how the roster's expectations, but also just how little time comparatively they have had to come together and play together.
All right, so reminder for everybody out there, this is just a best-of-1 tiebreaker. Overall this year, LCS has no regulation best-of-1s, but this is how we're going to decide who is our final participant in the bracket stage. Dignitas wanted first pick, Team Liquid wanted blue side. So it's Jace, Azir, and Orianna banned out by Dig, Varus, Rumble, and who is our third bachelor here? Not bachelorette, Aurora, banned out by TL.
Okay, so Ambessa is still up, and Ambessa pretty high prow, but with Photon and Morgan, they have some
Renekton
specific
battle.
champions.
Yeah.
You know, Renekton. Photon also really likes Gwen, but Morgan, of course, very, very big proponent of Renekton also, and so that is the true battle. And if your opponent is first picking Renekton, you are not picking Ambessa into that. So immediately to the Jarvan Rise counter.
Yep. And I do like this J4 for Jose. I have really loved when we have seen him be able to sync up with Quid. The two of them have looked really good as a mid-jungle duo. I think some of that was on display in their game against Sentinels, and then some of it was also lost when members of TL kept getting picked around the map. As we see the TLAW locked in again for
Pantheon or Vi here, would you like with that?
I would love that, Kobe.
See if we can get one of those classic pairings for the synergy between XU and Palafox to build here, because Pantheon and Vi both still up and available and work really well with it. So
there we go.
A lot of people do prefer the Pantheon nowadays, but with the Vi getting some buffs too, you know, it's still a choice.
Yeah, I mean, they set up for each other super, super well. And we were talking to Palafox a little bit after when he was on the lounge, and he really gave XU a lot of credit. He's like, XU, you know, we seem to work really, really well together, despite the fact that we haven't had a lot of time together, where this is his next jungler after Contracts, who he spent so much time with for so long. And I thought Palafox had a really solid game on the TLAW just earlier today. As we see on the opposite side, that Sion going into the top side for Morgan.
Yeah, and they did this versus Cloud9 also. They're like, all right, Morgan's fine. Very happy to pick Sion into the Renekton lanes. In that series, it was a Renekton and a Nidalee jungle. But this one also very scary, Renekton and a Pantheon. And so, all right, I just play my tank. I'll go down a little bit of CS early on. I'll be there for the team fights for the squad.
All right, top half of the map has been drafted for both teams, so let's see what these AD carry and support bans look like, as it is supports the name of the game so far, and enchanters the name of those supports. Lulu and Nami taken off.
Yeah, we've seen kind of a rise in enchanters, and especially in a game like this where it's only best of one, you definitely want something that's really, really strong 5v5. Enchanter supports have been dominating these bot 2v2s as well. So seeing the Nami and Lulu removed, and then now the Nautilus, which is just, you know, really good CC that would follow up with stuff like the TLAW, the Pantheon, and the Renekton.
And I think that goes tenfold, especially for TL's side, because they're running a Sion top side into a Renekton. So you don't want your jungler wasting a lot of time going up top lane to this Sion lane. So you want to play off of, you know, some pushing bottom lane, get some pressure down here, because you've got a Jarvan and a Ryze mid lane with Realm Warp, you know, lots of possibilities of making bot lane plays, bot lane focus. And what better of a bot lane champion to give you lane pressure and CC for setup for bottom lane plays, but Nico for Core JJ.
That sigh was not because I don't think Nico is good, but because I'm sick of facing her in bot lane.
You think she's too good?
Yeah, exactly. And then we see a Felios Thresh immediately slam down on the Dignitas side. We have talked a lot, especially when FlyQuest actually brought it out first. I think it was Cryogen and Masu, how the Gravitum ties in really, really well, sets up for that Thresh hook. As we see the Ezreal hover coming over on TL side.
I'll let them run the clock down. They're clearly thinking of a couple of different options here to contest Dignitas in that bottom lane. Obviously, something with some range you'll be able to deal with Aphelios when he has Calibrum active. And there it is. Okay, Ezreal, Nico locked in. Who are we giving the edge to here in the draft? Because I feel like by default, whenever I see Sion versus Renekton, I always want to give the favor to Sion.
I mean, I do like this side of the draft. I don't think it's some sort of overwhelming, difference or anything, though, because Dignitas have plenty of utility on this side, plenty of ways to make picks and plays. Pantheon and Talia, whenever you have this as a core, is amazing, not only for your own lane, but also later on. Global plays, very easy flash stuns into seismic shove, point and click, and I think the real tell for me will be which bottom lane is able to find success. Because if Dignitas are able to keep this Aphelios safe, and FBI is able to farm very healthily here and become a big threat and be capable of actually killing a Sion later on, then it's going to be great. But if TL can actually use all of these resources to go bottom lane, the Jarvan, the Ryze, going down there, and just have Sion doing tank stuff up on the top side of the map, then I think that they will find success this time around.
Yeah, and when I think of like front to back, if TL can kind of be able to set up with that Sion frontlining as well, that can be really formidable. But like you pointed out, Kobe, all of the stun and CC chains that can come out from the side of Dignitas, it's really for both teams going to depend on execution and coordination, which we've seen both of these squads have and not have at times.
All right, as we're waiting for minions to spawn and make their way into the lane, FBI's teammates brought him up to speed on the lock-in format.
Is it? It's a best of one. Wait, I thought it was a best of three the whole time. Really? You guys not trolling me. Bro, someone told me it was best of three yesterday. Oh. Ah, it's the best of one. Oh.
Yes, best of one.
Tiebreaker.
That's why I pointed it out earlier, that this is just best of one, because everything else the whole year long is no best of ones here in the LCS. But this one, you only get the one game to prove you belong in the brackets.
And in that best of one, you see the previous jungle crossover. Pantheon already had done the invade, so it's a split map here. Dignitas trying to split the map. Again, bottom lane is so important here with these comps, and TL, they want to find success from their bottom lane, but Dignitas are trying to take that away from them by splitting the map. I do think it's an intelligent move.
Yeah, I think it's really smart given how important bot lane 2v2s just are in the current meta, not only just for these compositions, but you're in that lane for a lot longer now, typically with laning phase lasting a lot longer. We'll see if XU looks for anything. Looks like he's just going to kind of step away. But even when XU first got on Dignitas, if we can remember all the way back, it was through these like routine bot lane ganks where he found the most success. So we'll see if he revisits that after clearing out the rest of his jungle.
Push in the bottom lane for FBI and Ignars. They're going to go ahead and crash this wave into the turret. FBI, so important. You already all touched on it a little bit in the draft. Sion will become a wall, and the only potential battering ram you have for that wall is this dude with his hair brushed in front of his eyeball. If he can see the Sion, everything might be okay. But if FBI falls too far behind, you're going to have so many issues trying to kill the Sion, and you just run into the situation where Renekton and Sion both try to frontline, one of them stays standing, and the other one is a dead crocodile.
So it's going to be a haircut issue, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Team Liquid Barbershop. That's what they're trying to open up.
They're going to cut Aphelios' hair for him?
Yeah.
But if he can see better, isn't that good?
No, because it ruins his emo vibe. He has to be brooding, mysterious.
Does that like allow him to talk to his dead sister more easily or something? What is Aphelios lore?
I learned he had a sister like 2 weeks ago. Thanks, Twitch chat. You guys are the ones who taught me that. But nice. Dignitas are now back.
I learned only from you.
Wow. Well, now see, we're all sharing our knowledge here together as XU wants to continue sharing the enemy jungler's chickens with himself. He goes for the re-invade here, but Jose Diodo is going to meet him at this point. XU will take all of the baby chickens, but Jose Diodo gets the big one, kind of just a handshake, half camp for half camp.
Okay, there you go. Happy to steal away any of them at least. Now you've got respawning chickens on the other side as well. So question is, will Jose try and sneak those? Because it doesn't matter if you only take part of my chickens, but I'm not letting you get away with that. Jose's not letting you get away with that either.
I was going to say, as you were saying that, he was immediately pinging it out. But Palafox and XU are here.
Yeah, Palafox going forward, uses the seismic shove to knock the chickens back.
The chicken flip right there.
Yeah, they're sizzling. Just cooking them up a little bit. Skillet mechanics. Okay, well, they got the chicken secured on that side. Jose Dioto is going to grab the crab up here in the top side river as Morgan and Photon both trade towards low HP, but I don't really think anybody's under an imminent threat of death up here.
Yes, might be looking more towards this area. Control ward has been dropped by XU on his path up around his little venture through this jungle. He's going to take a wide circle, actually, and his Krugs are up already, just kind of sitting there. So that little adventure from XU not going to result in anything else, really.
Well, I was going to say, it kind of makes sense. Like, it seemed like he looked, oh, do I have a play mid? Meh, not really. Do I have a play bot? Meh. Morgan wasn't really pushed up far enough, and I'm not sure if they would have been able to get the kill on him anyway, so...
Well, we've got our first Drake alive, but it's the Kim Drake, and nobody likes him very much, so he's usually not a big priority. I mean, people don't.
He smells like chemicals,
Yeah, he smells like he doesn't smell good.
Day.
It's been quite a journey here today, as we do still not really have a whole lot happening on the Rift. Pantheon and Jarvan are both very capable gankers, but there hasn't been any opportunities for either one of them just yet.
Yeah, and I think,
okay.
Morgan and Photon fighting each other up here.
Yeah, Photon gonna go ahead, drop the Dominus. Morgan tries to get away, but the ulti is interrupted. Not enough damage from Photon, though. Only the Phage in the inventory for the Renekton means that Sion can just walk away. No flash forced out of either one of them. Palafox does have Weaver's Wall here on the TLAW.
Chicken battle part 3.
We love these chickens, but I still do like how it sets up this bot side of the map for Dignitas, right? Like, that's kind of where they want to go. I don't know if XU is going to be looking to necessarily make a play there or just kind of get bot side control. Jose
the thing is,
like, I want these chickens.
But the thing is, they're desynced, you know, because they took those ones first. That Palafox and XU, they're on time for the delivery of chickens. Meanwhile, Jose is gonna have to just call it after clearing the single control ward.
I hate when my chicken delivery is not on time. That's the worst feeling.
I mean, it's on you if you're not tracking them.
if you're not home.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. They're delivering your chickens.
Yeah, I guess he ordered delivery and then left.
You didn't plan ahead.
Also, did you call your friend ahead of time? Because mid lane has a huge effect on whether you are allowed to receive the delivery of chicken.
You don't want to order a whole big family-size order of wings by yourself.
You want to share
some buddies over, right?
Exactly.
That's the whole point of
mid laner and jungler bonding.
Yeah, just hanging out, just bros being bros, having a good time, eating some chicken from the enemy jungle. But bottom side here, let's check in on FBI since we were talking about how important he was earlier. Here comes your Pantheon. XU shows up. The burst damage comes down, and Core JJ's out of there. Not only is it Dignitas' first blood, but the payday goes over to FBI. Red, white, time to fight. He goes forward, and the kill on LYON makes it a double. Team Liquid wants to get something back. XU's going to be their first target. Ignar is trapped inside the Cataclysm. It might just be, okay, only the single kill so far, but FBI still trying to exfiltrate the hot zone here. Dignitas comes out on top, 2-1.
Yeah, and that was really nice. We were wondering where XU was going to use that kind of first Pantheon ult. They'd been setting up on that bot side. We talked about how important bot side is. Up. Here's Palafox top side.
Yeah, Palafox shows up, needs one more auto attack, but he can't get it to Morgan. Actually gets the kill. Dignitas over forces and Photon fall.
I think it's a little early on the dive. TLAW still had some travel time to get there, and because they started so early under the tower, Photon dying to the tower shots, it actually goes awry for Dignitas on the top side of the map. However, on the bottom side of the map, it went very nicely for them. FBI says, LYON, I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me after they go for the second kill. It's after this play. Nice pick from them, Pantheon ultimate. And then when LYON arcane shifts into FBI. He goes on the attack, and we see the reason that he arcane shifted was because of the Realm Warp. The reinforcements were coming, but FBI just fights his way out of it. Red, white gun. Aphelios, you know, he's like, fine, LYON, you're not going to get away with that arcane shift. He flashes on him, and it serves both as I get to kill you also and escape. So they come away with a 2-for-1 in the bottom side for the side of Dignitas, and it required the investment of the Realm Warp from Quid himself to go down there, which presumably opened up a topside play for Palafox to use the TLAW. However, they then failed that play.
Yeah, exactly. And the most important thing coming out of that is both of those kills are going over to FBI's Aphelios, right? Like, it sets him up in a really good spot. And we'll see what Core and LYON are going to be able to do to kind of get themselves back into it a little bit.
Yeah, regardless of the execution on a lot of these plays, I think so far the theory from Dig has been good. Split jungle early on for this bottom lane. We know that we really need to focus on it, and then use Pantheon ultimate very quickly after getting level 6 down there. Go for the kill. Nicely chained CC, Pantheon stun into Thresh hook, and so I think the theory has been good, and they're going back.
Okay, Core JJ flashing out of that one to escape the box. Once more, it's XU showing up bottom lane, providing some assistance for FBI and Ignar, trying to accelerate the Aphelios, but FBI is low HP now, pulled to safety with the Lantern. Jose Dioto looking for an opportunity to maybe just instantly dunk that AD carry, but he can't get there in time.
Yeah, and because FBI is so low and has to back, I am wondering if that's going to open up either just for some turret damage down here or potentially a rotation onto that first Drake. This is one of the later Drake takes we've seen today. We're kind of chained to that objective as TL are going to be able to grab this. Because it's been so important, right? Like, Drake is such an important objective just based on the way team fighting works now in an extended laning phase, and then also stacking Drakes has become such a crucial part, especially with Otacon out of the game now.
Yeah.
It was a Chemtech Drake. I'm telling you, it smells like stinky old cleaning products.
And that's why no one wanted it until it was absolutely guaranteed.
Don't you want to remove that from your vicinity as quickly as possible, though?
Make it smell better.
If it's stinking up the area, then you want to clean it and get it off the rift, make room for the new one.
Well, that new one is going to be an Ocean Dragon, which is generally much more preferred.
Yeah, clean up your messes, flowers.
Yeah, the stank got turned into water.
The oceans are now allowed to thrive.
The water washed away the stank. Okay, so 4 minutes from now, we'll see if it is truly more desirable, as Palafox is going to crash another wave into the mid lane. I still want to see if we can get a Taliyah Pantheon combo with Weaver's Wall and Grand Starfall combined. FBI does take a big chunk of damage right there, though. LYON with the True Shot Barrage, making sure that Dignitas doesn't get too excited down here in bottom.
Yeah, it looked like they were kind of setting up to see if they might be able to try it, right? You see that ward line. Dignitas still have really good deep vision down on this bot side of the map, kind of reflecting their focus. But with so much poke going on to FBI specifically, it's pretty tough, and that's going to, again, any time that this TL bot lane, specifically the Ezreal poke, is landing onto FBI, that just gives them so much more leeway to push up. LYON's going to be able to chip away at this turret a little bit more, and then they might be able to clear out some of this vision on the bot side of the map.
Yeah, and knowing that and seeing the play, you know, all the push coming, they do trade Grubs at least. Again, Grubs being nerfed is one of the reasons why you were talking about Dragons also being higher priority. So it's definitely a consolation prize, and you'd rather have more money, some turret plates for your bottom lane, but nice little pickup there. XU takes those plus the Gromp, and his bottom lane gets the push out afterwards. So they get another turret plate for themselves. FBI gets the turret plate, enough damage, and then the Lantern from Thresh, so nice. They get out of there before anyone from TL back in the area. And mission really has been going quite well for them of get FBI, the extra gold.
The one thing I'm worried about here for the Dignitas side, and Jat and I were talking about this a little bit yesterday, is you don't have a side laner that feels powerful for Taliyah and Pantheon to play through right now, because Renekton is behind, right? Like, Photon Photon dying early just made it that much easier for Morgan to get to the point where he's really never afraid of Renekton being able to kill him. And if you can't play around Renekton and have the gank squad show up for the special celebrity guest appearance, then they gotta be more creative with where they can go.
It also ties into what this TL composition can do really well, which is because they have that Scion, and because the Scion is now in a really good position. I just see Pantheon coming through.
Yeah, XU goes in for the Grand Starfall, but now he might be in some trouble. He throws up the shield, Lantern over the wall to bring him back to safety. Morgan looking to get involved in the fight now as Photon also arrives. Box has been used. Weaver's wall separates Quid from the rest of the team. Death Sentence flies out, but it's only on to Morgan. Jose Dioto could be under a little bit of pressure now as the Pop Blossom goes in. Core JJ gonna force some flashes, but he won't get anything else. Long range damage coming out from FBI. He's got the red white. He goes back in for the auto attacks, but he can't finish any of the kills. Dignitas wants to try to find something. Photon forces 2 more flashes over the wall. It's so many summoner spells from both sides, but somehow no one dies.
So much value out of this Thresh Lantern. Saves XU from a really tight spot so they can use his flash later. And Dignitas, they get the advantage in some of these flashes being blown. Let's see if there's any repercussions for it. You know, both Quid and LYON using theirs at the very end out of the Dragon Pit was quite nice. But actually, they also, you see, with instant flash here out from Renekton, so several of them used. Then he used the empowered stun to just chop away the Scion shield. And Jose gets stunned up and kind of kited back a little bit. So Dignitas have the option now of re-engaging. You see XU wrap around the bottom side while the big damage from the Aphelios ult does come through. Jose gets low. The rest of TL have to run because he's so chunked out. And so Quid and LYON at the end are forced to flash away. So it's actually very close in summoner spell cooldowns here. The only ones still, still available are gonna be Palafox and Ignar on their side, and then that kind of matched by the Morgan, Jose, and Core JJ, which is a critical one for the next Nico ultimate.
Yeah, it's also critical with the next Drake coming up in about 10 seconds now, as we saw TL picking up the Rift Herald on the top side. Another thing that happened in that fight was that Quid was kind of separated out by the TLAW wall for a while too, so he could not get in to kind of either CC people or do as much damage as he would have hoped. That could have turned the tide initially when it got really, really separated out. But good job and kind of like counter punch from Dig. They have a lot of answers, as we already pointed out, for keeping their main carry safe and also just splitting up fights so TL can't potentially just use this Scion to frontline.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I'm definitely going to be focused on if Core JJ can get the big engage with this Nico now. With Nico still having flash, he's got some possibilities of taking that out of Aphelios, but they're going in.
And they're trying to force the play to Core JJ. The Pop Blossom's not going to get a whole lot, but Core is still alive for now. Photon in a little bit of danger as the True Shot Barrage flies through Dignitas health bars. Nobody dead, again.
I mean, just like that, Core has to use both. His ult and his flash defensively on the Nico, so nice little job jumping on him there. I mean, this Thresh is looking quite good to me.
Yeah, and I mean, this is where Dignitas wanted to put their pressure on this bot lane. We see that reflected in the gold. We see that reflected in how threatening they are in these fights. And now they are going to get first rotation on this Drake, although it looks like TL are going to be ready to contest.
All right, Dignitas, can you finish the objective in time? LYON wants to step forward. Remember, so many flashes are still spent from the last big fight. Dignitas still putting the DPS into the Drake. They'll secure that objective. Meanwhile, Herald summoned up mid by Team Liquid. This is going to guarantee at least a couple of plates here, as FBI will try to answer the rest of the Herald, force that one away. Next wave is about to crash, but Infernum is there for Aphelios for all of that extra wave clear. Meanwhile, topside, Palafox is going to rotate up there to answer the push from Quid.
Yeah, and now that splits Drakes across the board, one for TL, one for Dig. They also had Quid on this rise, pushing in on the top side of the map, and kind of did a little soft contest and then decided to just drop Herald mid, get some plates off, get that gold onto the rest of their team, and then also have Quid pushing in this top side and try to delay things a bit.
Yeah, exactly. They opt for a little bit of gold in exchange for this Drake, and we'll see if they can actually find a kill onto the Aphelios, because FBI really is, you know, the big focus here with if they can wait for his flash to come back up, having flash and ghost and thresh to give you extra maneuverability, then Dignitas feel like they're going to be in a good spot. I mean, he's working on his Infinity Edge already, so he should be up to a very quick power spike in this game. But he's got a little bit more farming to do, so they're trying to keep him safe in mid lane. Blast the wave. Ignar hovering for possible lanterns here if any sort of...
Jose.
Yeah, XU's now trapped. He throws up the shield to try to survive away from this. Nice seismic shot coming in from Palafox. LYON now going to take a ton of damage, but it's Ignar who dies first. LYON's got the damage to take him out of the picture as FBI continues looking for a little bit more. Moonlight Visual tags LYON. FBI's on a killing spree, and they kill off Morgan. XU just delivers himself into the waiting arms of Team Liquid, and it's a 2-for-1 for TL.
Oh, yeah, that was just too far. The rest of the team, they're still dealing with the Scion zombie form that had revived, and XU goes in with very low health. Delivers back an extra one. It had been kind of equalized there previously.
Oh, and have FBI taking a lot of damage.
Oh, flash forward coming out from LYON. He wanted to grab the kill. Hits him with the Papega Frog, a responsive Tech W Braum. The emotes are there.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was almost looking good for Dig because FBI was going to be able to clean up on the back half of this fight. XU's unable to get out via the Thresh Lantern there, and then Morgan immediately on to Ignar, stuns him up, and then he dies. But then Morgan, again, this is where I really thought, Kobe, that Dig were going to be able to take this fight. And then XU goes a little too deep here, immediately just gets rooted, CC'd, and dies.
Yeah.
Off, though. That's the attitude you have to have, right?
Yeah, he knows. A little bit too far. Sorry about that one. But the fact that they were able, because Morgan Scion ulted into the tower range to be able to, lock up Ignar and get that kill, the fact that they were already able to chop down that Scion, and that was pre-IE being completed. Now, FBI does have the IE completed here, so the crits will be coming through, and then he can start to work on armor penetration already next. Now, FBI definitely demonstrating the possibilities of DPS output with this champion. Problem is, of course, both summoner spells burned up again, and so you have kind of long windows before you feel super safe as far as your maneuverability, and they might rely very heavily on this Thresh, which means it's opportunities again. Core JJ, you have Flash, you are Nico, you have Ultimate. Can they find the big Nico play that they really want to bring?
They're looking for it. Realm Warp's coming in. LYON, Quid, and Core JJ all dogpiling FBI, and that's exactly the kill that TL needed. If they can get some more, they might even feel empowered to go after the Baron itself. Morgan's going to lead the charge, and that's both bottom laners dead on the Dignitas side. Baron might just be the angle here for TL, and it looks like LYON is happy to start firing with Morgan moving into the pit to tank it.
Oh, it's just like you drew it up, Cody. Like you were talking about how you really wanted Core to be able to deliver. I love that they've been looking for these Realm Warp plays with Quid, with Jose Deodo. We talked about how important it would be for them to kind of be able to coordinate with the CC from Core. That was a really, really nice repositioning with the Realm Warp into Jarvan going into the Nico ult. Gets TL this really nice Baron, and now even with the Aphelios, like the Aphelios is the problem they have to deal with, but going in, let's take a look at this fight again.
Yeah, Realm Warp from this side cuts off the escape from FBI over here, so they have to Lantern over the wall, and Core JJ flashes it, makes that Nico ult really, really worthwhile. FBI had no more movement, and now Jose under attack, but he can slip out.
Yeah, I think he's feeling just fine on this one. Ignar, however, caught by the Tangle Barbs, now might be in some danger. LYON gets back over the wall, escapes into the chicken pit, as Jose Deodo ends up having the brakes slammed on that Jarvan follow-up there by the Unraveled Earth. Ignar finds a nice death sentence on the Core JJ, but the only death sentence is his. Quid finds that kill, as now XU caught in the Rune Prison, decimating smash, ready to follow it up. Shield's gonna block a lot of the damage, but not enough.
Whoa.
FBI gets one back, but he dies in the process. Both AD carries are out of the picture, but it's Dignitas losing more and more and more and more, and it's Team Liquid taking all of it.
And this is what TL are really good at, is again, we talked about in that Sentinels loss, they might have gone too ham with their lead. I really do like, though, how they're playing out this composition, how they're using Morgan as the front line, how they're repositioning and getting catches, and also recognizing what a big threat FBI is, right? Like he kind of has this constant target on their back, on his back, and they're able to find ways to get on him. Here, XU is going to die first, but then immediately Jose Deodo on to FBI, even though FBI is able to get a kill back out of it. Coaching staff, Spooks is very happy about that one.
Yeah, you can imagine, like, this team, there's so much pressure. They're expected to win, and not expected to even be playing in a tiebreaker right now. And so they really want to focus and power through on this win. Of course, that play actually did start with Dignitas starting it out, and XU.
Oh, XU gonna lose half HP right there. Morgan also chunked out, but he's Scion. Dying is just part of the game plan with this champion, as he's low, but not dead just yet. The teleport not available to rejoin the rest of the team here just yet. Ulti also still on cooldown, but considering the enemy jungler is the one that he traded health bars with, that means that Dignitas does not feel comfortable trying to fight for this Drake, so Mountain Drake uncontested for TL.
Yeah, at the beginning of the last fight, I was going to say, as we realm warp to the Baron.
Yeah, they're realm warping forwards. It's Jose Deodo going in alone, but he's not going to commit to anything here just yet. Photon does use his teleport to arrive in the fight in case anything explodes, but honestly, Team Liquid are fine, just chilling a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, everyone showed up like, what are we fighting for? Is anything here? And I was like, okay.
Jose kind of looked menacing, right? Just running around as Jarvan, you know?
What are you guys doing over on this side of the map? Everyone's like, okay, lower your weapons, everyone back off.
We're calming down, and we're pushing bot instead, try to see how much damage TL can do on this tier 2 bot turret.
Okay, they're chipping away at it slowly, but Dignitas are trying to arrive in position. I still want to see Weaver's Wall and Grand Starfall used together to create a fight that is not just front to back. And here they go. Dignitas deciding this is their moment, this is their angle. That's their jungler, though, about to die. XU immediately has to retreat. Morgan's here on the front line. FBI cataclysmed by Jose Deodo. FBI takes him with them, but you're happy to trade your jungler for the enemy AD carry, for the only guy that can punch through this Scion, because now the rest of Team Liquid can just full force their way into the tier 2.
Yep, and they're going to delete that tier 2 immediately, get their rewards. Messing around with the cancel of the mid lane recall here. He's got the boosted recall, so he is out of there. But TL have really run away with this. After that kind of mid play, they have just ballooned the gold lead off that single play almost. They basically created this 3,000 gold lead.
Yeah, and I mean, so much of that is where you look at where the gold is, right? It's on Quid, and he is going to be an absolute menace in this fight. They now have so many tools to deal with a dig engage. So even in that engage where they're trying to combine the TLAW and the Grand Starfall, like you said, Flowers, they end up being able to absorb it, and then immediately Jose is trying to get onto FBI.
Okay, Morgan is flayed back into the team, but Dignitas again have to retreat because XU once more is focused down. He's out of the picture, he's out of the fight, he's off of the rift for the next 35 seconds. The silver lining here for Dignitas is at least the Baron will not spawn until he's back alive, but this Pantheon is struggling.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of vulnerable positions that he put himself in. If I take my mind back to the one where they did get Thresh caught in the jungle, and Thresh threw out his hook and got the cleanse from LYON, but then actually like flash forward to follow that up after the cleanse was used to try and like stun him for follow-up. But you also get 75% tenacity, you know, after using your cleanse, and so then he immediately just got back out of that, and then XU didn't have his flash to escape the ensuing fight. And so there's been a lot of like very dangerous spots where you do have your directional immunity on Pantheon to try and use, but it's pretty hard since TL have so many threats on the front line. Like Morgan is getting very beefy here on the Scion, and Core JJ's Nico is creating so much space. This Nico is very problematic to deal with as far as the engage on TL.
And TL has been sending Jose Dioto in a lot with the Realm Warps to give him that extra gap closing on the Jarvan. But now, Ryze is willing to also hop in the passenger seat of the car because he's got a Seeker's arm guard. So if he goes in with Jose, he still feels safe.
And TL have created this scenario again after that last fight. FBI had to flash away. So this now is the same scenario. CoreJJ has flash, FBI does not. Nico ultimate and proto belt. So CoreJJ's got a lot of movements, and he's a rank 2 ultimate now, finally getting his level 11. So.
Hold on. Quid sidesteps away from the death sentence. Ignar has to continue his retreat. Actualizer was popped there by the Ryze, so plenty of damage potential. You do not want to stand there and trade blows with him. But I'm struggling to see the win angle here for Dignitas with the scaling Ryze, the scaling Scion. The game was just going so slow for so long. Now Palafox rides in, tries to find an opportunity here. Quid's going to Realm Warp to join up with the rest of the team, and Dignitas now have used the Weaver's Wall for a whole lot of nothing. CoreJJ thinking about maybe a wraparound opportunity, but no, Team Liquid just heads back for more control over the topside river.
Yeah, and you see how they set up this topside, kind of pressuring Dignitas out. They'll be able to start this Baron up, which was set up from not only that, but also them pushing in that topside wave much earlier. Dignitas aren't even going to contest this. They're just like, okay, we're going to take down mid tier 1. And you see the TL pings already going on to that topside with Morgan immediately heading up after the Baron take.
Yeah, and you can see pretty big lead here for TL. Quid is vulnerable, though.
Yeah, XU's going to go in, engage on him, but the Seeker's arm guard keeps Quid protected for a little bit longer. Team Liquid does think about trying to save him, but it's just too difficult. Quid caught out, punished there for being all alone, as now Dignitas have to be careful about their own AD carry. FBI tries to get away, and he stays alive for now, but just ever so barely. XU once again going to drop, tries to get the stun, and he'll take Jose Dioto down. And XU's still alive, finally taken out by LYON, as Photon's in the middle of everybody, and LYON dies to Palafox. Morgan's got to try to escape now. It's already 3 dead on TL. Morgan, as tanky as he is, you can't survive in the middle of 4 people forever, and this is a massive turnaround from Dig.
It's huge for them. FBI survived with that clutch lantern, bringing him to safety and the initial engage, and then their counter is so good, getting the kills, getting Dragon number 2, they're back.
Yeah, even though FBI was initially chased out of the fight, the important thing was that he lived, right? And now he has almost a 4K gold advantage. This Aphelios is an absolute raid boss.
Yeah, he sidestepped the EQ and then got lanterned out of the Cataclysm and got enough distance from Morgan. Ignar peeling for him, getting the flay, and then XU goes in. He gets the kill first before he goes down, taking out enemy jungle, and then even with the re-engage here, Palafox can flash to finish off LYON since he took so much damage, also trying to finish the Pantheon. And look at that.
Dignitas is excited, man. They know they still have a chance in this game. They still have a chance at the bracket stage.
Yeah, and their chance is all on keeping one man alive, and that is FBI on this Aphelios. If he can beast through a team fight, we see how much damage he is able to do now with the GA in as well, so he'll have a little bit of added survivability there. And also, I think in that TL fight, you do see the major difference when you don't have Quid and that Ryze for TL.
Okay, let's put it to the test. FBI has flash back and available too, so it does help to stay alive when you have 2 lives and a flash.
I mean, he's got 4 summoner spells: Flash, Ghost, GA, Thresh. Yeah. He's got pretty much everything.
Thresh has like multiple summoner spells too.
Well, it's a bunch of things that happen from the same button.
Yeah, there you go.
Right? It's still the same key on your keyboard, but anyway, it's less of a gold lead by far than what it was just a couple of minutes ago, and it all comes back to Quid's blunder. Overextending alone in the mid lane takes such a heavy toll on the Team Liquid lead.
And it almost seemed like they kind of were thinking about that play occurring too, and maybe they just didn't calculate enough and assume that not all 5 of Dig would be there, because they did have the wraparound as well. So you know, they had the wraparound from Jose got there, Core got there, and they teleported in Morgan, but then it was still 5 Dignitas because Photon also teleported immediately, and so maybe they weren't expecting quite as big of a response, and it cost them dearly.
Yeah, and it also took away the potential for them to be on Drake Soul, right? Like, it slows down this Drake stacking immensely. It's completely stymied anything they could have done with the Baron. So now it's a much more level playing field with the gold only 1K up in favor of TL.
And you have Runon's Hurricane now for FBI's Aphelios, so he's able to attack the Scion, the Jarvan, the Ryze all together. Maybe Nico, if she flies in, tries to make a Pop Blossom. That AoE damage potential is just massive if he gets the chance to shoot. We have 2 minutes until the Baron respawns, slightly more than that for the next Drake. Nobody can threaten Soul just yet. FBI finds a little bit of damage onto Morgan, but honestly, it's not much more than what Soul Furnace provides as a shield.
Yeah, and then it's going to come down to how well can the Scion frontline for this TL team, and how well can Dignitas manage to keep this Aphelios alive. We already talked about the additional bits of survivability he already has in his build plus Thresh, but then it's, okay, are they going to be able, is TL going to be able to get Jose Deodo or someone onto him immediately, either through Realm Warp or just Jarvan ult? And then for Dig, it's about, how can we just unleash this Aphelios damage on all of TL?
Who's a bigger pumper, Quid with Actualizer on Ryze, or Aphelios?
You know it's the last game of the day when that's the question we're asking.
Tiebreaker town, baby. All right. Team Liquid is... Who's got more DPS? Team Liquid is prioritizing the top river in a battle of rivers, where the bottom one, again, that dragon's not going to be sold for anybody. Palafox and XU, both level 16 now, so you have the most powerful versions of those semi-global ultimates. We'll once more see if they can find anything there. Palafox almost just finds a trip to the graveyard, as Dignitas got to be somewhat careful. FBI fires off the Moonlight Vigil. Palafox thinking about a recall here for himself. He and XU are both very injured, and the Baron's 20 seconds away.
Yeah, and that's going to open up for TL to be able to push in this mid wave, take control of this top side of the map, and kind of have first look and first chance at this Baron.
Okay, TP coming in from TL. Morgan's going to join up with the rest of the team, but there goes your Weaver's Wall. Palafox going to hop off early, does not want to jump right into Quid and Jose Deodo. Core JJ looking for an opportunity here for Pop Blossoms, but does not want to overextend himself either. FBI takes a little bit of poke, but nothing too serious here just yet. Does have a Vamp Scepter, so he can heal up again too. XU's under pressure. Immediately they try to engage on the Dignitas jungler. Guardian Angel's going to be forced. FBI's caught! The damage comes in from LYON. The Guardian Angel's already going to get forced. Palafox with the kill, back of the Core JJ. The split fight has killed off Quid, and Dignitas is looking to find a little bit more. The death sentence back into Morgan, and Dignitas is winning the fight. Quid's dead, Core's dead, Morgan's gonna be dead, and Dignitas just got 3 for 1.
Dignitas are doing it! The Baron's on the map. They can go directly over there with the Guardian Angel. They did not lose XU. He's still up. Dignitas all 5 alive.
And it's huge. They lost both Guardian Angels, but that means dudes aren't dead.
Yep, that's exactly what they wanted when they purchased these items. The most important thing we talked about for this Dignitas team was, can you keep FBI alive? Is he going to be able to do damage? And watch, even on the back half, XU goes golden from the GA, and then even though Core is able to get Pop Blossom on, as soon as FBI is resurrected, he is going to be able to take out Morgan on the back half of this. And yeah, just the fact that both XU and FBI were able to live off of those GA purchases, absolutely massive for Dignitas.
Yeah, that was even with Core JJ catching Aphelios after Aphelios flash. He still caught him on the edge of the Nico ultimate, but then he just got deleted. You know, you put yourself right on the front lines, and so he got deleted, yet the peel was still there for FBI after FBI got back up, and now they not only got the Baron, but they got Dragon Soul Point. So next one will be huge for them, and TL trying to get the mid pressure while Dignitas are kind of going over towards their bottom side, but with Baron, they can just do really quick recalls and reposition pretty easily. They're going to go for the push, though. With the Baron, they can also push really heavily. Maybe they go for the race.
Okay, Dignitas gonna just shove it straight down bottom lane. The crust on the tower immediately collapses, and that's gonna be a tier 2 for free. Dignitas gold lead still, honestly, not very big for this point in the game. 1,500. And it looks like Team Liquid has regrouped in time. They don't want to do any base race silliness. They're not going to leave things up to that level of chance. Instead, just going to regroup, defend against the Baron push, and try to slow Dig down.
Yep, you see the wall coming down.
Ooh, Quid doesn't get hit by the death sentence, and that is huge. Ignar has to continue trying to get away now as Morgan charges forward, and he finds a two-man knockup. FBI not threatened here just yet, but the big pop blossom coming in from Core JJ. Dignitas is in trouble, but FBI's already on a rampage. Team Liquid has continued pushing forward. XU looking to put the pressure on LYON, but he can't quite kill him. Team Liquid, they just need the one more kill, and they'll have the ace. Photon still standing, but not for long. Double kill LYON, 5 for 2 TL.
What an insane Realm Warp play coming out of Team Liquid, immediately recognizing this is our shot, this is our chance, we can get on FBI. We know how much was burned on him from the last fight, and now TL are going to be able to pressure this mid lane right here.
Yeah, they're gonna push heavily. I think they just go for it. I think they just go for the win right here. TL, what a play! And LYON surviving at the end was critical.
Okay, 5 seconds until Ignar is back alive, and then another 10 until you get FBI.
Oh, they're gonna back off.
Yeah, death timers are short enough.
Wow.
The game is not over just yet, but Team Liquid with a huge punch here.
Yeah, and we think Quid is caught out, right? But then he uses the Realm Warp as Morgan is channeling on here. So Jose Deodo onto FBI, and even though he gets threshed out, Core is there.
Yeah, Realm Warp delivering a Nico is one of the best strats, and they're able to pull it off, gets the big grouping. As you said, FBI, when he has no Flash and no Guardian Angel, then the Nico ult is able to lock him up. They're able to get the kill here, so huge engage from Team Liquid. They find it, but they're not able to push all the way for the victory, so they're gonna have to do it again.
Yep, they're going to need another fight like that. FBI's Flash will be up shortly. GA going to take a bit more time.
Now you can see the Guardian Angel just about ready here for XU, though, as Jose Diodos is also very far away from being off cooldown once more. FBI is true season 2026, 7-item full build AD carry now. This Aphelios is as strong as he is going to get. Final item completed there with the Bloodthirster for extra drain tanking in the middle of the fight, extra burst prevention. We'll see if that can be the difference that Dignitas needs. It's still all about FBI. It's been all about FBI the entire game. Still has that 4,000 individual gold lead. 9 of the team's 14 kills. Less than a minute and a half now until the dragon spawns, and that'll be Mountain Soul if Dignitas can get it.
And he just got his GA back, so GA and Flash available for him now.
Okay.
Okay, it's gonna be a banger. All right, we've got very close timers on the Dragon and the Baron too. So presumably, if you're gonna win this Dragon fight, that could result in a soul. That also is basically gonna be game ending. Baron will be on the map. I mean, we'll see how close it is because TL right now have taken control of the vision leading up to the Dragon. So they have the opportunity to take it away very quickly and kind of deny that from Dignitas. And Dignitas then could say, fine, we'll get positioning towards the Baron half the map. You know, there is a Scuttlecraft there, but FBI's...
LYON was trying to bait FBI to move forward there because Team Liquid wanted to spring a trap on the Dignitas AD carry, but it's actually LYON who ends up losing a bigger chunk of his HP, and now Team Liquid has been forced back away from that Dragon Pit area.
Yep, and as we see, they're both kind of... See if Dig look for something here.
Okay, Morgan's gonna take some damage here at the start, but Photon slices forward. He puts the pressure onto Quid. Core JJ not gonna find an angle here, just sends the clone forward. Photon continues chasing after the rise. XU arrives here with the Grand Starfall, wants to go in on the Team Liquid mid laner. XU's got Guardian Angel, but he's gonna be focused down very quickly. Quid is not dead just yet. XU's Guardian Angel is procced, and Team Liquid still hanging around. The Dragon is the target. Now for FBI and Dignitas, Quid has to recall, heal up, and teleport back into the fight if that's what they want to go for, but he has no TP, he's Ghost Rise, and that means Dignitas gets the Mountain Soul.
And it could be the Baron right afterwards, as we said. Now it's gonna spawn, Emily.
Yeah, these two timers, as we talked about, were already so close, and Dig is such a huge winner from that fight. It does not matter if they don't get the kill, because the ultimate thing is they have Mountain Soul going into this potential Baron fight.
Okay, XU, no Guardian Angel. Keep that on your mind. As FBI's doing a ton of damage on the Baron right now, True Shot Barrage flies through. FBI immediately just heals the Bloodthirster shield right back up. The Baron is low. It's stolen away by Jose Leono at the 11th hour. XU's about to die as CoreJJ finds a Pop Blossom, but FBI's still standing. He gets Chunk low and he's knocked down into the Guardian Angel. Yon's on a killing spree, and they've taken out the Renekton. Team Liquid looking for a little bit more. FBI revives. He's trying to fight it out. He's saved with Lantern yet again. You gotta be kidding me. He wants to lifesteal, but he can't do it. And FBI falls.
Jose Leono, the hero, stealing the Baron for TL in the ensuing fight is absolute chaos.
He just walks up slowly and smites the Baron. XU, let's take a look at the combo. He should Q smite it. He does, and it's just short, and Jose just gets it.
Oh. Yeah, and then this ensuing fight, Morgan is actually able to go in here. Core lands that crucial Pop Blossom. FBI's GA is popped right there, and XU is kind of out of the fight. He's going to try to come back in onto Quid there and get that kill. Most importantly, FBI ends up dying at the very end, isn't able to lifesteal back.
Dude, Smite barely does any damage to champions, but Jose got a Smite. Okay, it does 40 true damage to champions. You think that was enough? That got him low enough. He smited him as he was lanterning away. Oh my God, so close. You having fun, Quid?
Literally. Okay, we've got a 44-minute banger on our hands. The Elder Drake will be spawning in 3 minutes and 45 seconds. The Baron will be spawning about 30 seconds thereafter. Palafox goes in for the Weaver's Wall, but the only knockback they find is Morgan. The Scion cannot be the target, so Dignitas get a whole lot of nothing.
Okay, the Guardian Angel has been sold. FBI, you know, he used up the cooldown on the last one.
Yep.
He knows this game is so close to ending. Sell that thing. It's already broken. We've got the QSS Mercurial Scimitar upgrade here. So now he can try and use it to get out of some CC. Presumably CoreJJ help him deal with some of that. But you would rather have a full extra life.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see about navigating the next team fight. No Flash, no Guardian Angel for him, although he does have the QSS active.
Okay, Ignar goes fishing yet again, but Morgan, when he's the only target, Team Liquid is very comfortable. Palafox trying to defend the tier 2 here in the top lane, finds a shove onto Quid, but nothing more. Dignitas has to be careful about their movements. Nobody can afford to be picked in the jungle at this stage of the game.
Yeah, and this is why we're seeing TL kind of try to set up this two-pronged attack. They got in.
CoreJJ with a massive Pop Blossom, but the follow-up isn't there just yet. FBI dies, and Team Liquid full sends it into the enemy base. Photon's about to die next. Palafox gets back to the safety of the Nexus turrets. Photon revives through the Guardian Angel. He's saved by the Lantern. Palafox dies to Quid, and Team Liquid takes out both of the enemy carries. XU trying to make the hero move and stop the wave.
That's such a CoreJJ call. Like, that is vintage Core, and it's going to get TL ultimately this win and send them into the bracket stage. Okay,
XU regrouping with the remaining 2 players on his team. Their carries are still dead. The first Nexus turret is about to fall, and Ignar goes with it. Photon again just trying to cut the minions. It's the only hope Dignitas have, and that hope is squashed. XU stands alone for the next 15 seconds. Team Liquid still looking to end the game. LYON continuing to fire forward. XU jumps after him, but he's not going to find the kill he needs. Guardian Angel will bring him back, but it won't be able to save the Nexus. It was a bloody battle, but Team Liquid takes the win.
CoreJJ, Nico! Holy moly! That engaged to win the game. Walks up as a minion. Jose's laughing. That, you can't ask for more out of a tiebreaker match, okay? That was back and forth. There was response from Dignitas. They almost came back. Banger tiebreaker right there, Lounge.
All right, what are you guys thinking, Chat and Rise?
I was so stressed. I was so stressed on behalf of Team Liquid. I don't know, I shouldn't be, but I was super stressed on this one.